There are 5 AI tools or technology right now that could save your practice thousands of dollars or hundreds of hours every single year. And I'm not talking about complicated software that takes weeks to learn or needs your IT department to set it up. I'm talking about practical tools that you can start using this week that can save you time, reduce your overhead, improve efficiency, and take work off your plate or your staff's plate. My name's Jamie. I work with private practice physicians and med spa owners every single day. And after more than 20 years in healthcare, I can tell you the gap between practices using these tools and practices that aren't is getting wider every single month. The practices that are embracing AI are documenting faster, reducing their no-shows, creating systems more efficiently. The practices ignoring it are spending more time, more money, and more effort to accomplish the same thing. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 AI categories that every practice owner should know about, what they do and how they help your practice, and what you need to know about security before you use them. And make sure you stay till the end because the last one is the least flashy, but it may have the biggest impact on your profitability. Okay, the first tool is going to be the AI Ambient Scribe. If you're still spending hours every week documenting your visits, this is probably the fastest ROI tool you'll get from AI. Now, some of my favorite tools for this are Dragon Copilot, Nabla, which I might be saying wrong, Abridge, and Freed. So go check those out. These tools listen during your patient visits and automatically generate your clinic documentation. Now, I do want to mention that a lot of EHR systems already have this in their system. You may just have to pay extra for it. So if it's already included in yours, definitely check that out. Now, these are great because instead of typing while a patient is talking or paying somebody else to do it, you can focus on the conversation while AI documents everything that's said. And then it creates a note for you of everything that happened. The results, better patient interaction and less hours of after-hour charting. Also, it's going to help you close out your notes faster, which leads to being able to bill quicker. Now, the important thing is that if you are still documenting everything manually, you are spending time on a problem that AI has already gotten pretty good at. The second category is AI-powered scheduling and appointment reminders. Now, this one doesn't get talked about very often because it's not super exciting, but missed appointments can cost practices thousands of dollars every month. Now, this is another thing that most EHR systems have built in. They can automatically send a text and reminder email. They can send confirmation requests, waitlist notifications, and even help fill canceled appointments. Now, it might cost a little extra, but it's definitely worth it. If you want, you can figure out how much money you're losing every month due to no-shows and compare it to how much it actually costs to implement the service, just so you know how much extra you're going to be making if you have it. Now, if your EMR system does not have it, you can look into something called Lunar Health. Remember, reducing your no-show rate by even just a few percentage points adds several $1,000s a month to your practice, maybe more depending on how big your practice is. So the software often pays for itself. Now, the third category is what I like to call your AI operational assistant. Now, this is where ChatGPT or Claude comes in. Now, most people think these tools are just like a fancy search engine, but they're not. They're incredibly useful for helping practices work faster. Do you need an employee handbook? Do you need some policies and procedures? Maybe a job description or help responding to a difficult email, or maybe even just some marketing ideas. This is where these tools shine. You ask a question and you get a response. So instead of starting with a blank screen, you get a solid draft in seconds, and then you're going to customize it to fit your practice. I use these tools every single day, not because they replace thinking, but because they replace wasted time starting from scratch. Now, one quick security reminder before we move on. While using tools like ChatGPT or Claude or any of those other kind of tools, never enter protected patient information. Things like name, date of birth, diagnosis, all the HIPAA stuff. Now, there are HIPAA compliant versions that actually have proper agreements in place, so look for that. But these tools are incredibly powerful, but you do still need good judgment and protect your patient information. Now, the fourth tool is what I like to call AI Workforce. My new favorite is Claude Cowork, and this is where things start getting really interesting. Most AI tools will answer your question, but Claude Cowork actually performs the task. For example, you can tell it, retrieve our onboarding documents, update the front desk SOP to reflect the new scheduling process, and then save the revised version in the operations folder, and then create a summary of what changed. And it will do all of that and put it in the right folder for you. Not just write the document, it actually completes the workflow. Now, this is the closest thing that I have seen to having a digital operations assistant. And for practice owners, that means less time managing documents, updating your procedures, organizing the information, and handling administrative projects. We are entering an era where AI can do portions of the work for you. Now, the fifth category is a way to easily review your key numbers and know what they're telling you and what to tweak in your practice. And in my opinion, it is one of the most important. AI can save you time, write policies, and reduce documentation. But none of that matters if you don't know what your practice needs to do to improve. And that's why we built the KPI Intelligence Dashboard. It's a way for physicians to get answers about their practice with very little effort and no judgment. Once a month, you receive an email with a link where you enter some numbers, or your office manager enters some numbers to just a few questions. It literally takes you under 5 minutes. The dashboard then tracks your numbers over time and provides you a monthly AI generated report every single month that summarizes where you're improving, what to keep an eye on, and what deserves your attention right now. Because most practice owners don't need more data. They need someone or something to help them understand what the data is actually saying. And that's exactly what this does. Now, if you'd like to learn more about the KPI Intelligence Dashboard, I've included the link in the description below. And the biggest mistake I see practice owners make with AI is thinking that they need to implement all these things at once. But you don't. Pick one category and start there. Maybe it's reducing your documentation problem. Maybe it's reducing no-shows. Or maybe it's finally getting a handle on your numbers. Practices getting the biggest results from AI aren't necessarily using the most tools. They're simply using the right tools. And if I had to pick one area where most practice owners are leaving the most value on the table, it's probably ChatGPT and Claude. Most people are only using about 5% of what that tool can actually do. In the next video, I'll show you exactly how to use Claude to build SOPs, HR systems, patient communications, and marketing content safely inside your practice. Click the link here, and I'll see you in the next video.